Right, continuing on the lesson, like I was saying, those civilizations at the time, Babylon, the Medes and the Persians, Greece, Rome, even Britain, Turkey, you know, rewinding back then, if we were to jump into civilization at that time and told those individuals, citizens, the peasants, and the commoners at the time that, yo, Rome is going to fall very, very soon, or, Greece is going to fall at the height when everybody's fully involved in bread and circuses, everybody's, living high off the hog, so to speak, living in filth and debauchery. 99.9% of the people wouldn't believe it'll be a small percentage of the individuals that would adhere to the words and basically go against the grain. And we see that in these times now. The prophets, the men of the Lord, in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, we're the only ones that actually see what the masses of the people don't see. That's why the scripture says in Revelations, the Lord said that He anointed our eyes with eye salve so we could see. And we see through spiritual clairvoyance and the spirit of being a seer to see afar off, see distance in the futures, what's going to happen. Of course, we're not going to say what happens in 5-10 years, but we know what's going to happen in the short future. And it tells you in 2 Ezra the 9th chapter, measured out of time diligently in itself, which Lord will not probably get that scripture too. But this is Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, and the wine that the so-called white man transgresses by is his philosophy. It's even a philosophy for how he even created his financial district, through the banking family with high interest rates, and the financial standard is not backed by silver and gold, all right, as in the days of old. A dollar was classified as a measurement, but you can't take these dollars and actually transfer them to silver and gold in these days now. You would actually, you could go to somebody that's actually sells silver and gold and purchase it, but it's not going to be a clean transaction like in the days before. Because what you had the Gold Confiscation Act, you had all kind of various acts that took place where they stripped silver and gold out of the market, and they made it mandatory for people to give up their silver and gold and to deal in terms of paper currency. And this paper currency that everybody trusts in, that has your founding presidents, the top dogs, the big wigs on there, what Jay called them, the greenbacks, the dead presidents. All those bills are going to be a thing of naught. Tells you in Proverbs how money maketh itself wings, and it flies away. And it also speaks about how the fashion of this world fadeth away. And this is the main fashion, it's the financial fashion that everybody basically cloaks and lives by. But it says, neither keepeth their home, that deals with, in terms of the military, entering in foreign borders all throughout Africa, the Asiatic lands, the Middle East, fighting wars, or looking to fight wars and take resources from the people, bombing, creating casualties, stripping the land of, like I said, its natural resources. You know, what you think was the war of Iraq, the war of Afghanistan, all these different wars they benefited from. So it says, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's where we're at. We're in the Babylon the Great, which this is the great melting pot. All right, and this melting pot has all peoples, nations, and tongues within. It's not like China, where it's the masses of the residents in the land are Chinese or India, whereas masses of them is Indian. America is a what they would say, like I said, it's a melting pot. All nations are mixed in the United States, all right, of America. So this has to be talking about America in these times now. So it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb, which a proverb, of course, is a wise saying against him, saying, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And the so-called white man increased all that which is not his, pursuing to Job 9:24. The earth wasn't made for his sake, but it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right? So that means that he took and confiscated things that were not promised unto him through the divine blessings that were given to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you see what he has done with the blessing. He has totally vanquished and destroyed the world to the point birds are falling out of the sky, dying. Animals is beaching themselves. So all kind of animals that's dying within their habitats have to transfer habitats through deforestation. All right, pH water being destroyed. You know, the world is just itself is dying and decaying. The common man in the common household is depressed and sick, and he has to go to the white man's Frankenstein lab in order to partially get healed, which in turn gets sicker. All right, and that's why everybody trusts in working relentlessly to try to get up in the society when that doesn't even work. Because what does the scripture say here? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. The word clay in the Hebrew is abadyat, which means debt. All right, we just read about the debt is increasing. Guess what? It's going to keep increasing. It's going to double. It's going to triple until this place bottoms out. You know, and that's why the so-called white man has to shut this thing down, and he has to turn to alternative means in order to restart and rejump his system. And that's even in the books of the New World Orders to collapse this basically the civilization and reestablish it upon other principles. All right, and have you jakes as perpetual slaves. But you know, this is just a lesson I just wanted to go into, just more evidence of the fall of America. The numbers are facts. You know, these things aren't made up. You know, the numbers speak volumes of itself. So I want to end by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shema Shabbat Shemar Kakodash, the bonus to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom Akim.